live at 5 on Thursday, the 4th of August, with a very special guest today, Kathryn Gallagher, who you may remember from Spring Awakening, and she's doing this great show at NYMF. Hello, Mr. McPhee.
Hi, Imogen.
You've had a busy day today,
yeah, a lot of
news-wise. So go on, tell me all about one of my favourite shows.
So, Miss Saigon Broadway Revival has a theater, and a familiar one at that. So that'll be going into the Broadway Theater, where the original production of Miss Saigon was. Fiddler on the Roof is there now, closing at the end of the year, and Saigon will be going in beginning March 1st.
Officially opening on March 23rd. It's already been announced that the UK leads will be performing here. I saw the production in London. It is amazing. It's also a limited engagement. This is very interesting. Maybe a new trend for revivals. It's already announced it's going to be closing the following January, which I think is pretty wise. Revivals tend to...
Yeah, and it's going on tour after that too. So it has like a long-term US plan.
But anyway, can't wait to have that show back on Broadway. What else is going on?
So Kelly O'Hara is going to be on Masters of Sex next season. So she's going to play a long-lost love of Dr. Masters. So that's exciting. Joining a lot of Broadway people on that show. Gail Ashford, Helena New York.
Looking forward for that. And there was big news that I wrote this morning.
Yeah, big shake-up this morning.
Mr. Alex Timbers no longer be directing the Frozen musical, which is sort of shocking behaviour.
And we also don't have a replacement.
No.
They've just sort of parted ways, Alex Timbers and Disney.
And also Christopher Catelli, it looks like he's the new choreographer for the production. We're not quite sure if this is going to affect timing. It was supposed to be opening in Denver in August 2017, followed by Broadway in 2018 in the spring.
So there's still time, but it might delay slightly.
Might delay, and also might switch up with the casting. We've been hearing a lot of rumours about the casting. Some casting has already been attached to labs and so forth. New director, they tend to want to bring in new people. So we shall see.
I learned that from Smash.
Yes, okay. Right. Moving on, talk to me about Othello.
So Othello the Remix is going to come to off-Broadway to the West Side Theater. So this is with the Q Brothers, and they did previous like hip-hop adaptations of Shakespeare before, like the Bombity of Errors years back.
Special producer, yes.
Oh yeah, John Leguizamo is going to be producing, so that's very exciting.
Very exciting. Okay, fresh face of Adrian Walker from The Lion King is up. Have a look at that. New On Your Feet vlog, which I've not seen yet. What's Anna,
you should
Anna been
see
doing
it because Anna Villafañe goes in full cat's drag. She has her high school Grisabella costume, and she just like prances around the streets of New York, like as a cat.
Excellent.
So,
excellent.
Sure
I imagine that might be appearing in Lessons of the Week. I have a funny feeling with that. Will Chase Show People is live, I believe.
Yep. Talking about taking over in Something Rotten as the Bard. His crazy YouTube videos with his kids.
Excellent.
Talks about Smash.
And Holiday Inn. Paul went and interviewed everyone at Holiday Inn yesterday. There's a video up on the site for that.
Corbin Blue.
Yeah.
Bryce Pinkham. Lots of people.
Lots of people. Okay, quick roundup for odds and ends, and then Kathryn's going to come in. Kyle Beltran will join the Cherry Orchard, taking over for Aaron Clifton Moten. Did I say that right? Yeah. You've got some added bit of extra bonus information.
Yeah, so this is
right?
actually like kind of fun because Kyle also took over for Aaron in The Flick off Broadway last year. So
that's happening. Richard Madden isn't going to be returning to Romeo and Juliet because he's done something to his ankle. That's in London. Freddie Fox has assumed the role of Romeo. There's a really fun video of the two genies from Aladdin up. That's in odds and ends. And Barbara Streisand's Gypsy. I don't know if
who knows what's happening with Barbra Streisand's
They've lost
Gypsy.
their financial backer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yet another shake-up for that. It'll eventually happen. We'll see.
We'll see. But meanwhile, we have her album to look forward to. So thank you very much, Mr. McPhee.
Thank you.
We
Bye,
will
everyone.
welcome Kathryn Gallagher. Look who we have here.
Hi! Look, I can look at myself.
I know. It's
a dream come true.
Dream come
Just
true. Dream come
staring
true.
at myself.
Thank you for doing this today.
Oh my god, thanks for having me.
So, Dust Can't Kill Me.
Yes!
Talk me through this. This is a musical at NYMF.
Yes.
It's playing right now.
Yes.
You can go.
Come.
That's right, they can go.
So they're all sold out, but just still show up because there's a wait list and we're getting people in. So just come.
So how did you get involved?
So I was, Serja, our director, was our assistant director on Spring Awakening. And so he called me one day and he was like, these kids from Yale wrote this musical and it's sort of bluegrass, all country. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. I was like, I'm in.
You're done.
And so I did a reading for them and I got to just sing this really cool song, Ain't No Man. I don't know if I Ain't No Man. And it's on YouTube. and I got to sing it, and I literally talked to Sergio. I was like, so I hear you guys are doing NYMF. It's like, I want in. I'm so obsessed with the music. And so we started rehearsals like 4 weeks ago.
Okay. So you've got a nice, fairly good long rehearsal process.
Yeah, there's never enough. Not ever
enough
time. But it's really cool. It's a musical about these sort of five characters living in the Dust Bowl, who are all sort of social outcasts.
Okay.
There's a gay couple, there's me and my sister, and I'm in love with a black man, and there's a lot of sort of social issues that were big at the time, and we would hope to have moved past them now. However,
Perhaps. So, and how is it, because you're probably up close and personal with the audience, how is that? Great? Nerve-wracking?
I like it.
How does it go, yeah?
I dig it. I do a lot of shows with my own music, and it's sort of a similar size venues, so I don't mind like really getting in it. But I also, when we started Spring Awakening, we were in a 99-seat theater, and so I'm into that. Yeah, I'm like being closer.
Up close and personal. And have your audiences been behaving?
Really well.
No phones going off inopportune
We
moments.
had one yesterday, but it was in the boys' dressing room. So you know what? I can't even talk
at that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Oops. Hashtag oops. And there's whiskey in it.
So much.
Whiskey?
Thank God.
You're allowed. Do you drink on stage?
No, but you know what? We do have these
maybe.
these bottles that look like whiskey bottles, and they're on stage, but it's water. But one of these days, I'm gonna sneak in whiskey. I'm gonna get everyone.
Maybe for the final
twisted.
show.
I know. At intermission,
final show. Knocking it back.
You're gonna see someone like spit it out.
Drink the whole thing.
That's probably illegal.
Probably. Now, there's so much Spring Awakening love that's coming on. So much Spring Awakening love. So you obviously made your Broadway debut in Spring Awakening. How did you get involved with the Deaf West production? In the very beginning, back in the day.
It was so serendipitous, honestly. Ben Platt is one of my best friends in the world, and we've been doing theater together since we were 11.
He's about to do a very big show on Broadway.
I'm very excited. When I saw him,
did you cry?
He walked on stage and I was like, it's like a sobbing mess.
That show, Dear Evan Hansen, we're talking about everybody. That show just makes you cry. That show is built.
He's
to
amazing.
Get you.
He's so amazing. So he's him and I, we were like Tracy and Link together. We were the baker and the baker's wife. We did it all. And so he called me one day and he was like, hey, my friend Michael is doing this production of Spring Awakening. And I showed him your music, and then he might give you a call. So just if he calls you, don't be weirded out. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I get a call from this guy, Michael, and he's like, hey, my name's Michael. I'm doing this thing, whatever, and we get coffee, and he tells me all about it, and I texted him later, and I was like, hey, so I'm in. I was like, this sounds amazing. I was like, I want to do this. And so, then months go by, and we're in our first rehearsal for this tiny production of Spring Awakening, and half the room is signing, and half of the room is nervous, and everyone, and we made a show, and people liked it.
Just worked.
Yeah.
And you brought it all the way to Broadway.
Yeah.
How did it feel, that first preview on a Broadway stage?
Oh my
Was
God.
it just overwhelming? I mean,
it felt like make-believe.
Yeah.
It was like, it was literally a year to the day from the 99-seat theater to Broadway, like our first preview. So it was like, how did this happen? Like, we weren't, it wasn't part of the plan. Like, I think sometimes, when there's a regional production, it's like, oh, this will happen before it goes to Broadway. But that was like not
the plan.
The plan. We were doing a show that we believed in because we had a story to tell, and we loved it. And we got so lucky that people felt what we felt and saw what got us excited. And so it being on Broadway with all the same people, our same family, in front of all these people that were reacting in nice ways, like, it was just shocking. Everything about it was like
amazing.
Yeah.
Now we have something in common.
Oh.
So my dad is involved with musical theatre.
Really?
He is. And your dad, Peter Gallagher,
Yes.
obviously has done a lot of Broadway.
Yes.
Did you ever run away from theatre and think, no, I don't want to do that?
Oh,
or did you just love it? I
no,
tried too, and look where I am now.
I know, right? We're both
at
under like
Broadway.com.
Exactly.
But I mean, did you react a bit and think, no, I don't want to do the theatre, I'm going to step away from acting, I'm not going to go there, or not?
A little bit. I did. I really ran towards music. When I also never shut up. I started at 3 years old singing and dancing and putting on shows, and I always loved it. When I was 12, I signed up for like one of those casting websites, and I saw this thing for Camp Rock. And I remember reading like the description. It was like, Mitchie, 16, she sings, she writes songs, like all these things. And I was like, well, this is meant for me. I was like, this role was written for me. Disney didn't agree. But it's fine. Like, I don't hold it against them.
It's
honestly.
okay.
It's
You're
fine.
on the path.
But I called my dad into the room. I was like, Dad, I have to audition for this. And he was like, no.
Really?
No way. He was like, you're a kid. You have one chance to be a kid. Be a kid. And we got in this big fight, so I wrote him this song called I'm Okay. And then he was like, all right, she's going to end up doing it anyway. Like, I might as well support her.
Fine.
But so I was always going to do something on a stage. But then I got really into music and writing songs. So when it was time to go to college, I went to study music, and then... so I guess I went a little bit to music, but then there was nothing that was ever going to keep me away from musical theater. I was like, I'm obsessed with it.
Cause how old were you when Spring Awakening first came out?
The original?
Original.
I was 13.
So did you listen to it then, or did you not? You did?
Oh, yeah. I saw it on Broadway. Kyle Ryabko was the lead.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my god, he's so dreamy. I had such a crush on him.
Have you met him now?
Yeah, well, now we're really good friends.
Dreams come true, everybody. Dreams come true. So now
it's true. It's true. And so I remember seeing it, and I actually remember hearing Dark I Know Well, and I was like, there's a place for like voices like mine, which are like ragged and like I sound like I've been smoking since I was 2 years old. But I was like,
that's bad, people.
Yeah, don't
bad
do
live
it.
at Fivers.
Don't do
No.
it.
Yeah.
You can sound like that even without doing it.
Exactly.
Don't smoke. So I just was like, oh, there's a place for voices like mine on Broadway. There's a place for all of the things I love, rock music and acting and dancing and all these things. So it like changed my life. And actually, Duncan and Stephen gave me my very first professional job doing another workshop of theirs. And so I was like,
it's all meant to be. Now this is a fun.
Look at Bonnie. Bonnie, you're so mean to me.
Yeah. Okay.
So
we're not very rude.
So
very rude.
So
very
rude.
We have, however, been getting a lot of love.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Spring Awakening love. Okay, so talk to me about any dream roles you may have for Broadway. Have you got anything that you would absolutely love to do?
I really want to play a traditionally male role.
Okay.
I really want to do that.
They're doing that more now in London. That's coming out of the UK, the Donmar. They're doing a lot of that.
I don't know which, but that's always been I think that would be just such a fun challenge. And also I want to keep doing new shows. I think there's something so exciting about being with something from the beginning while it's a baby. I love that idea. So I don't know, maybe it hasn't been written yet.
It's all about people you're working with.
Yes.
This is another good favorite question from Live at Fivers. On stage mishaps.
Oh god.
Have you had any?
Oh
maybe
god.
With a whiskey drinking.
I'm a mess. I'm a real mess. There was a tally during Spring Awakening of how many times I fell on stage. Oh, I'm a mess. I'm really, yeah. I don't know why they let me on stage. One time, this is my favorite moment. I was there was a point in Totally Fucked where it was during previews. It only lasted 2 shows, and I think this might be why. Where it was like during the blahs, I like jumped off stage, and then we would run up the aisle up to the balcony and be there for the blah 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 blah, and then we ran back, and then we were supposed to like be in people's faces, and so I was like in someone's face, like on my knees, and then I was like, oh my god, I have to hit my mark at the stage in like literally 2 seconds. So I just kind of pivoted, which had me essentially in like a runner's start down a raked hill, and I just bolted, and there was this moment where I was like, oh, I'm not gonna stop, I'm not gonna stop, and I looked, and Steven Sater is like right here, and he looked at me with this like look of terror, like, oh my god, she's gonna die, and I just remember like, all right, I can stop, drop, and roll, and like maybe knock a couple people out, or I can just like knee slide and like try and pivot, and so I did that, and like, I hit my mark, by the way. I nailed it.
This is a professional. Nailed it.
And I literally then I get up on stage, my tights are like ripped, my knee is like bloody, and like it's such a mess. But then I told Spencer after, because it's previously he was still there, I was like, I'm so sorry. Can you believe I fell? And he was like, oh, I thought that was a choice. he was like, I wasn't gonna have you keep it, but I thought that was a choice. I was like, yes!
See,
like, I nailed it.
See, that's the way you do. Okay. So I always try to bring it back to the show that we're here to talk about.
Yes.
So Dust Musical.
Yes.
What do you hope audiences take away from it? Those that come and see it.
Well, one, the music's awesome. So
Okay.
But I think that no matter what, you're gonna leave the theater actually singing the music because it's like catchy and it's fun and it's great and it's amazing. But that'll just happen. It's really, I think at its core, it's a show about what happens when you don't get out of your own way, and you kind of every character is. You think that you're fighting against other people. You think that other people are standing in your way, and you think that these people, these outside forces, are tearing you down. When in reality, it's all you. It's all on you. Mm-hmm. It's your inner voice. It's you telling yourself you're not good enough. This is what people will say. This is what people will think. And that's always going to be your worst enemy. And in this show, it really comes down to that. It's like, well, what's going to happen if I don't get out of my own way? Okay. You're the only one that can kind of stop you from doing anything. And so for me, this show is, if you can learn to get out of your own way a little bit when you walk out of the show, we'll have done our job.
Yes. Kathryn Gallagher, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody get yourselves to NYMF. And we will see you on Monday as it's Summer Friday tomorrow. Have a good weekend, Live at Fibers.